What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Greetings, Sal. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. How we doing? Just waiting for people to come into the chat. We're not doing no readings, but I want to sanctify my area a little bit. Just in the event that we do pull out some cards. Mr. Palo Santo, you gave me Sal. There we go. There we go. Look at my acne is acting up. We're going to wait a little bit for people to come in. Mm. Greetings, Miss Yvette. Greetings, greetings. I hope your Sunday was good. Sal is here. Yvette is here. You know what? I'm going to drop the link in the event. Anybody wants to come on. We're not going to be on too long. We're not going to be on too long. I just wanted to give you all a little something before you start your week off. So anybody that wants to join, come on in. Hey, Sunday, March the 3rd, honey, here in Chicago, it was beautiful. Tomorrow, it's going to be close to 70 degrees. It's a setup. Mr. Steven, hold on. Mr. Stevens, greeting, darling. How are Mr. Stevens, where you at? You in Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the weather like over there?
I haven't been outside today, but I think it's been like it's like 50 degrees, 50
Okay,
degrees, something
okay,
like
so
that.
so it's not. Hold on, let me say hi to Sal. Greetings, Sal.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Tomorrow it's gonna be 69. You might as well say 70 degrees. Baby, to me, it's a setup. I'll take it, but I know that shit is a setup. It's a
I
setup.
just ho- I just hope that on my birthday on the first day of spring that it's nice. I hope that it is, but because it has snowed sometimes on my birthday, so
Oh
I'm
no.
hoping that I do something good. But I wanted to tell you something, and something very surprising happened. I kind of had a little sympathetic moment with my mother because, and then this is really serious because my great uncle just passed away. And she told me that she saw her sister, and her sister,
Okay. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a
yeah,
breath, Mike.
she said that her sister looked unhealthy, dark, and she lost so much weight. And, um, yeah, and my mother was a little bit upset about that. And you know how I've been saying my mother's been getting on my nerves and all this other stuff. But for a moment there, I reached out and I was very Pisces like to my mom,
Mhm.
and that really surprised me. And I just and then my mother was there and she was just like some another family member had looked the same way. And I'm like, ooh, didn't mean to get that emotional, but yeah, just had to let that out. Yeah.
That's okay. I'm glad you felt comfortable to do that, honey. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah. But
sweetheart. All I'm gonna say, Michael, everybody processes things differently.
mhm.
Um, and for me, it has been such a long time that I was able to come to the point that I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know if I ever shared this with the live before. It'll be close to 30 something odd years that
Mhm.
my grandmother she passed on. And
Mhm.
and the thing is that I didn't know how I was going to take that. And
Mhm.
it was really something else. But the thing is, though, is that I was surprised at how well I took it. I was
Mhm.
surprised at how well I took, uh, my grandmother's passing, and that is when I knew that that I was that I was really firm in my beliefs, and that is, just like, in tarot, the death card, that
Mhm.
is transformation. And
Mhm.
and it works for me because thinking that this woman that raised 4 generations and that's it. Now that is a reason to cry. But the thing is that, like, there were so many other things that came to reassure me. The idea that, my grandmother is, because I am a byproduct of her daughter, as
Mhm.
well as my father, that, our DNA, her DNA is there with me, and I carry on the things that she taught me. And and like for instance, as a cosmetologist, my girlfriend Daphne, Julia Smith, one of my earlier mentors, I've got a lot of people that were in the industry. Oh God, what was Jean Tyson? She was an esthetician. These people have all gone, but when I walk into a salon, they walk with me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
they all help
Yeah.
shape where I'm at. You know, that gives me comfort. That gives me,
Mhm. Yeah.
and the thing is, before I got on the live, I was talking to my brother, and to this day, my mother and my brother will go to the grave of my grandmother, and they will lay flowers and all that stuff. And I think I went back to that grave site like maybe 4 times, and that was because I was in the company with my mother or my brother. My grandma's not there. My grandma's not.
Mm.
The remains of who she was is there, but my grandma's not there. My grandma is closer to me than my skin. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Mm.
how I process this. Um, you know, um, I have somebody that I care for, and I'm doing the very best that I can to ensure that they're comfortable, and do whatever I can to maintain the health that they have. But the thing is that if this individual expires or has to go, I know that wherever he is, that this thing that we call universal mind or God is there with him. And if that be the case, why do I feel bad? Why am I going to feel
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
but see, but that's my process. You know what I'm saying? And I was just,
Mhm.
baby, you do what you feel is best for you. I'm not trying to replace it. I'm just giving you
Oh
a
yeah.
perspective. Because
Oh.
yeah, no, I don't like that. Nobody has the prescription for everybody, but for me, when it comes to the quote unquote death, that's what works for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
that
All
was
right.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
are you good
Yeah.
though?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But thank you for going live, and
Yeah.
thank you
Oh,
for the.
darling. You know what? Last night I went live 3 times.
Oh, wonderful. Mm.
Yeah, I went live when I did the reading for you, and then I went onto the TikTok, and that didn't prove fruitful. And then I went
Oh.
back live on YouTube, and me and Miss Autumn, we were talking for about an hour and stuff like that. And the thing was that, like I don't know how this social media game is supposed to work, or what I'm supposed to do, how whatever. He at this point, I've just let go of any type of expectations, and I'm happy for the community that I have. I love my moderators, and we just built from there. You know what I'm saying? And if I would like for it to grow. I would like for the channel to sustain itself, because I desperately need a new camera, because this one is not it. I'm grateful for it because it's working for what it is, and it's definitely
Yeah.
better than the phone, but
Yeah.
darling. when I pull up a card and it disappears because it's too glossy or something like that. I don't, and see, I'm so technologically at a disadvantage. I don't know if I've got to readjust the camera or what, but I mean, here we are. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just, at this point in the game, I'm going to do my content. I'm going to go live when I can. Let the chips fall where they may. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you that I was here because I every time you do a live, I do watch, but I don't know how the shadow ban stuff happened. But what I will,
Me either, baby.
but
And that's
yeah, I
another
don't
thing,
know.
sweetheart. The rules are always changing. The rules are
Yeah,
always changing on this.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
baby. I'm gonna drop
All
you
right,
out
take
and,
care.
but thank you for
Bye
sharing,
bye.
sweetie.
Bye
Thank you for
bye.
sharing. All right. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate everyone's time. Good evening, everyone. Um, Sunday nights. Sunday nights can hit. They hit different for everybody. And I try to do what I can to come on Sunday just to give you guys a little something to hold on to and to get you through. Um, if you love what you do, it's not so bad. But so many of us, we do a job because we need to do a job and stuff. And, we worry about work. We got these deadlines, everything's coming at us. And that's what I wanted to talk about, that energy for this evening. So not everybody, but a good portion of people, they spend Sunday night worrying. Again, they're worrying about the deadlines, they're worrying about their coworkers, about bills, about pressures, about everything that could go wrong. But tonight I want to flip. I want to flip the shit. I want to flip that mindset a little bit, or maybe completely. And the truth of the matter is, kids, my little terabytes, the truth of the matter is this. Here. It's right here. There you go. What you desire is already on its way. The order has already been placed. You don't need to think about it or how it will come. Your only job is to accept that it is already done. And I live in the real world, and I know how crazy that sounds. I know how simple that sounds, maybe even a little too simple. But the fact of the matter is that this idea sits right in the heart of spirituality. The principle, this is the principle, and the principle is really, really simple. It's like the good, the good shows up in your mind first before it could show up in the world. Meaning that the opportunity, the solution, the support, the breakthrough that you're hoping for, it already exists in larger in the larger universal intelligence of life. And your job, it's not to force it. Your job is to align with it. And this is where, and for tarot, this is where this comes in. The cards, they mirror the energy that we're working with. So tonight, I want you guys to look at a few cards that represent this statement. Not so that you can wait for life to happen, but so that you can walk into this new 5-day work cycle with confidence that the things are already moving in your favor. So, let me show you real fast. So the first card that speaks to this idea is the Star. That is the card of the Aquarian. The Star is a card of hope. It is a card of renewal. It is a card of spiritual support. If you pay attention to the image, you see the woman pouring the water out of two vessels. And one stream is feeding the earth, and the other one is feeding the water. And this image is powerful because it shows something important. It shows that the supply never runs out. There's always more good flowing from divine source. And from spirituality, from a spiritual perspective, the star reminds us that the blessings that we're asking for already exists in greater life. So it may not be visible yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not already on its way. So the affirmation for me, that comes with this card is really simple. And, and that affirmation is, the good meant for me is already flowing into my life. The good that is meant for me is already flowing into my life. I want to put this in the comments here so you guys don't have to. I'm going to put it in the comments. There you go, you guys. All right. So I want you all to hold on to that as you move through your 5-day work cycle. So the second card that speaks to this statement is the Magician. If you notice, the Magician stands with one hand pointing up to the sky and the other one pointing down to the earth. And it's a symbol that says what exists spiritually can become real physically. On the table, on the table of the Magician, you can see the wand, the cup, the sword, and the pentacle. Everything needed to create something new is already present. And there's a deeper message here. The moment you accept a possibility in your mind, life begins organizing around that belief. So when in that statement, when it says the order has already been placed, what we're really saying is the creative process has already started. So the affirmation for this card is divine intelligence is already arranging the conditions of my success. You all, I worked really hard on these affirmations. This afternoon, yeah, she did her homework. Hold on, let me get that for you. I'm gonna put that in the chat for you all. So, and with this one, and with this one, especially with this one, if you all pay attention to when I do my videos, at the end of the videos, I tell you guys, like, when shit gets really heavy, to close your eyes and to envision what it is that you want, I always tell you to close your eyes and ask the universe, show me how good it can be. And that's the Magician right there. That's the Magician right there. So for the third card, this third card, it's going to be Temperance right there. This third card talks about, this is about divine timing. You see the image of this angel, calmly, pouring the liquid between two cups. The angel is not rushed. The angel is not forced. It's just steady balance. And this card reminds us of something that a lot of people struggle with. And that is, we want the blessing, but we also want to control the timing. We want to know when exactly, we want to know the how, the exact when all of this will happen. But universal mind and life does not work that way. Universal mind and life does not work that way. There's a deeper order moving behind the scenes. This card right here, Temperance, it teaches us that when we stop trying to control every fucking thing, the process can unfold in the way that it's meant to. And so for this affirmation, I thought that this was going to be good for us. And that is divine order is guiding the timing of my life. Let me get that in the, there we go. There we go. Divine order is guiding the timing of my life. The final card for this statement is the World. There we go. The World. This is the card of completion. This is the card of fulfillment, of wholeness. The cycle coming full circle. When we do a reading, when I do a reading, when this card appears, it tells me that something already has reached its conclusion at a deeper level. And now it's just a matter of life catching up with the truth. And that's the energy of the statement that we started off with tonight. Accepting something is already done. And the affirmation, for the world is I accept the good prepared for me and allow it to appear in my life. Let me get that. Oh, Miss Yvette she is accepting all of these. I love it, Miss Yvette. I love it. There we go. There we go. So let's go back to the original statement. What you desire is already on its way. The order has already been placed. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to think about when or how it will come. You just need to accept that it's already done. So now I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this live tonight. Unless, you know what? Let me do this. Let me get the link again. If anybody wants to come in for a final statement, I'm going to paste it right there. If anybody wants anything to say, you can come on there. But, so as I close this live tonight, I want you to carry one simple idea with you into this new 5-day work cycle. And that is, most people are going to walk into Monday bracing themselves. Hold on, let me get this off so that I can look at you guys. There you go. They're going to expect stress. They're going to expect problems. They're going to expect resistance. But for the people that join this live, you can walk into this 5-day work cycle with a completely different mindset. You can walk in expecting the evidence of good, the good that you deserve. Because the truth is that what you desire is already on its way to you, and that the order has been placed, and that you don't need to stress about the timing. You don't need to force an outcome, and that your only job is to accept that it's already done. So let that idea sit in your mind as you move through the 5-day work cycle, and watch your shift. Watch your shift begin. You see how it begins to change and stuff. You keep that. You won't be you'll be walking into this 5-day work cycle more relaxed. And here she is, our Judy on duty. How much of the live can I? Y'all, Miss Yvette and the lady Sarah over here, Rabbit Craft, these are your two moderators. And Rabbit had a 4 a.m. Call time. So that meant that she had to wake up at 2 or 3. God bless her. Girl, the fact that you even on this live is amazing to me. You can catch the replay. And you guys, do me a favor, share this out. Let's see if we can get more people up in here. Share it out. It's free. Please do not forget to like the video. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, do all those things. The algorithm wants to see this engagement and what have you. But yeah, I've been doing this for now. It's going on 2 years now. And, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I didn't think that it would be this long or take this long to, have the amount of subscribers that I have, but I mean, this social media game it's not easy. It's not easy. The only thing I got is consistency, and I'm going to be consistent, but this time I am going to, when it's lower the brightness to conserve your. Oh no, Sal's giving. Look at Sal's acting like Sal works for AT&T. There we go. Okay, but that is but that is good advice, Sal. That is good advice. But listen, if you guys show up, I'm gonna show up, and that's how we're gonna do it from now on. Um um So with all that being said, you guys, listen, thank you all for joining. And I hope this live, brings you a little something so that you can walk into this 5-day work cycle a little bit more relaxed. Okay. Because we're living through some strange times. We are living through some strange times. And I don't want you guys being swept up in all the bullshit. Like I said, danger is real, but fear is not. So keep all of that contained, all right? So with all that being said, you all, thank you so much for joining. Lady Sarah, thank you for joining. As always, Yvette, Sal, Mr. Stevens, thank you for joining. And with all that, you guys have an amazing 5-day work cycle. And I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Wait a minute, I'll say. I'm glad, Yvette. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for being an amazing moderator. Okay. All right, you guys. You guys have an amazing 5-day work cycle. Okay. Let's make this 5-day work cycle do what it does. Okay. Y'all take it easy. Okay. Wait a minute. Good night, Lady Sarah and Sal. Good night, my love. Good night. Good night. Good night. All right. And Mr. Stevens, I know you in there. So good night to you too. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Bye. Thank you for joining. All right, there we go.